Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to talk about a little bit of everything, to be honest. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's get into some things. So I want to talk about quantitative tightening, right? Because a lot of people have been saying quantitative tightening is priced in and things like that. Now, what I want to say is it's very important that you guys understand that we know for a fact that the last time the Fed did quantitative tightening, which was actually the first time they ever in life did it, the markets didn't like that. That's one thing that you have to keep in the back of your head. And not only did the stock market not like that, but crypto didn't like it either. The crypto market did not like it. Now, remember, they're not going to actually remove money from the balance sheet quite yet. We're waiting until mid-June. Between June 10th and June 15th is when it's really going to start to happen. Now, again, I want to make this very clear. I don't know what's going to happen. Even Jerome Powell said he's not entirely sure what's going to happen. That's why they're being very careful in what they're doing, because they really have no idea. Now, they're quantitative tightening a lot more than they did the last time. And the last time, the market hated it. So can you imagine what could possibly happen this time now that they're removing even more money off the balance sheet because they put so much money on there due to quantitative easing? Hope that made sense. So you've got that going on, right? So quantitative tightening is something that worries me. Again, you don't got to agree, but it worries me, okay? And I'm just sharing my thoughts here. Now, the other thing that's really worrying me is credit card debt is sky high, and I don't understand why. This is why I said CNBC, in my opinion, is a clown show. I would only watch CNBC and some of these other financial platforms for pure entertainment. I would not listen to what these people are saying, because credit card debt came out and we saw that it was sky high and it is only going higher. Yet you have people on CNBC saying the consumer is strong and the consumer will remain strong. I'm calling BS on that. I disagree. I really do. So credit card debt is on the rise as consumers face what? Higher prices almost all across the board. This is due to inflation. Credit card balances rose year over year, reaching $841 billion in the first 3 months of 2022. What does that mean? People are still stuck in the stimulus era with no stimulus, right? There was so much money being pumped in the markets and into the overall economy in 2020 and 2021 that you had a bunch of people who were getting their little PPP loans and the stimulus check, and they were getting paid more in unemployment than they were doing when they were working. Remember all that? All the money printing and all the finger popping and all the dancing. Now the party's over. And now that the party's over, Americans are still stuck, in my opinion, are still stuck in the stimulus age. So what are they doing? Because they don't want to cut on spending or stop spending, and they don't want to not travel. Americans still are traveling. They're still spending. That's why people think the consumer is strong. But wait a minute. Why are consumers spending and traveling? Well, it's because of this right here. It's because credit card debt is on the rise. People are borrowing money. They don't have the money. They can't afford to do it, but they want to do it anyway because they're still stuck in 2020 and 2021. That's my opinion, right? So you also got to keep in mind that the U.S. consumer savings rate hit a 14-year low. That's not good either. U.S. households gained about $2.5 trillion in excess savings since March 2020. Where did that come from? Stimulus, stimulus money, unemployment, PPP loans, all the government money printing, all the money that got distributed. That's where that came from. So U.S. households gained $2.5 trillion in excess savings, right? The extra cash helped keep consumer spending strong, which in turn has driven prices higher. Now, the U.S. economy has been mostly beating expectations over the last 2 years when the money printing started, which was 2020 and 2021. Cool. So they've been beating expectations for the last 2 years, the U.S. economy, that is, due to the spending boom where consumers pretty much bought everything. So what we saw in 2020 and 2021, yes, was in fact, indeed, a Fed bubble. Literally, the Fed created a bubble in markets because they put so much money into the market. And there's a little bit more to the story too. I'm very simplifying it. There's actually a lot more to it, but that's the simple version. And there's going to be consequences for that. And I keep trying to tell people this. Now, here's what else you got, right? What you'll find interesting, and what you guys may have noticed, is that the Fed has been speaking a lot lately, right? And they almost sound hawkish every single time they speak, right? Different Fed members have been coming out and speaking publicly a lot this year. I know you guys have noticed it. It's been insane. We literally had 2 people from the Fed speak today. And it's crazy because every week I look up, there's a new Fed member speaking. I'm like, Jesus, where are these people? Because they're just coming out the woodwork, running their mouth. There's always some conference, some event, some speaking engagement. It's like, well, y'all just shut up. Shut up and do your job. But no, there's a reason why they keep speaking so much, right? And this is in my opinion. I think the reason why the Fed is speaking so much is because they're trying to get the market to do the tightening for them. They're trying to avoid fully tightening themselves. So the Fed is trying to talk their way into rates up. They're trying to talk it, and they're trying to get the market to tighten conditions, and they are threatening to raise rates and run off the balance sheet until the market gets to where they want. Yes, that's what I honestly believe. I believe the Fed is watching the market and they want the market to go down. That's what I believe. I really do. Because every time the market has some type of rally or starts to look strong, Fed starts talking and they start getting hawkish and the market goes right back down. It's actually quite insane. And I think the Fed is trying to get themselves in a position where the market will actually do the Fed's job for it. But what are we seeing? In my opinion, I don't think we've crashed enough. I know all of you who are holding the YouTube stocks think that we've seen a crash, but we really haven't. We haven't even seen a crash yet. We've really just seen a correction / a bear market. We haven't really seen a full on crash. And honestly, we haven't even really, we're in a bear market, but the S&P 500 barely touched it. And if you just want my honest opinion, I really think we haven't seen nothing yet. And I think the reason why is because the Fed is still stuck on this whole soft landing thing. Yeah, okay. Soft landing, right. So once the Fed wakes up and smells the coffee, I think that's when more of the pain is going to come. Because to be honest with you guys, I don't think the market's being fooled by it. I really don't. I would have expected the market to be way lower. But I think the market is basically saying we're calling the Fed's bluff, right? And so there's this talk that the Fed could possibly ease up a little bit and be a little bit nicer by September. I don't think that's going to happen. But that's what's being said. But that's why I told you guys there's too much uncertainty. I want to wait and see personally. And you don't got to agree. If you're the person who says, Echoes, you're wrong, I'm buying the dip every day. I'm buying the downtrend. You go right ahead. This is just my opinion. I'm sitting on the sidelines with my 20% in cash. Because remember, I'm still 80% invested in the market. So we're good there. But I'm sitting on the sideline with my 20% cash. I'm going to keep building that cash position. And I'm going to wait on the sidelines and see. Because things look so bad in the macroeconomic environment, I'm a little worried about what will happen in stocks. And one thing I do agree with Jim Cramer on. Jim Cramer is right about this. And this goes into my thesis, right? At least my opinion. Jim Cramer, the one thing he got right is he said, I wish the Fed would just come out and just say, we're hiking rates 100 basis points and just kill the market. I agree with him. But the reason why the Fed, in my opinion, the reason why the Fed will not do that is because they're trying to get the market to do it for them. So they think that by speaking hawkishly and having this hawkish tone, it's going to make the market get to where they want. However, in my opinion, it's not working. I know you guys think that the market has just died, but trust me, this is nothing. This is nowhere near what I expected. This is really not really that bad. Now, the YouTube stocks have died, yes. But the overall market, like index funds and stuff, the S&P 500, isn't really down as much as you would expect, at least going by historical measures, right? So that's why I said this is the one thing Jim Cramer was right about, and this is the one thing I agree with him on. If the Fed really wants to, I think the Fed's just going to downright have to force us into a recession. That's really what I think. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. There are many people on Wall Street who thinks that the Fed is still behind the curve here. And so Jim Cramer's idea might actually make sense. Just come out and just shock the market. Just get it over with. Just say, you know what? We're hiking rates 100 basis points. Just turn into a mega hawk. Just be mean. Be angry. Kill inflation. You know, that's what needs to happen. But unfortunately, they're not doing that because they're still trying to do the soft landing and they're trying to get the market to do it for them. Now, housing is a whole nother issue because the housing boom or bubble that we're still technically in was caused by the Fed too. But that'll be saved for another video, especially since I actually don't know much about housing. I've been reading about it, so I might do a video on it. But for now, we're going to stick to what I know, which is stocks. And so there you guys have it. That'll go and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.